Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Melissa Muir. Today we are continuing on our All About Accessories series with Fordham, and today we are going to be talking about some nylon satin finishers. I use these a lot to do things like deburring, removing any kind of tarnish and rust, and putting on a beautiful satin finish. Let's dive in and take a look. So as you can see here, we have a few different options that are available from Fordham. And they are all made out of nylon heads that are impregnated with an abrasive grit. Now, I like to use these to clean and obtain matte finishes on metal or plastic. For each of them, you want to do about 25,000 RPM maximum. So that's going to be more if you have a micro motor. But if you have a flex shaft, all of your machines are going to be able to handle these at full speed regardless. They're all about a 1-inch diameter for their head, and they're about 5/8 inch thick. So let's take a look at what we have here. Our light red is going to be the coarsest. This is going to be really coarse, so you're going to have more of a scratched finish on your material versus something that's a little smoother satin. But I do like this for deburring and kind of helping to smooth out some rough spots that might have been left over from a drill bit or a saw or a file, whatever like that. The tan is a medium coarse, the dark red is a coarse, our gray is fine, and the green is extra fine. Now you are able to purchase the light red, the dark red, and the green individually in 12 packs, or if you want all 5 of them, they are only available in the AK52212 accessory kit. And that has a lot more options that are available in there, but it does come with the additional 2 satin finishers as well. In addition, we have 3 more that are again an extra coarse, a medium, and a fine, and they're just going to give you similar finishes but just made a little bit different. They are slightly thinner, so maybe about 1/4 inch thick versus the 5/8 inch. All of these are mounted on a 3/32 inch mandrel, so they're going to work inside of your quick change hand pieces as well as the H30 if that's what you happen to have on your flex shaft. Now, it should go without saying that anytime you use any kind of power tools or accessories, you need to take your safety precautions. That means safety glasses, hair pulled back, as well as a mask, especially for these accessories where we will have some of the particles breaking off. We do not want to breathe those in. So make sure you take care of your safety. Now for demonstration purposes, I have a piece that has been annealed. This is copper, but it's not yet been pickled or cleaned. However, I can use some of these satin finishers to come in and remove that top oxide layer and get it back down. This is the extra coarse, this is the light red. The finish that it puts on here is definitely a bit more coarse. It is smooth to the touch, however, you can see that we have more of a stardust effect. Now jumping down to the medium grit on this, just to show you the difference between the finishes on these. And again, very briefly here, but you can easily see the different finishes that are available just stepping down to that medium grit. Now the metal I've used on this is fairly clean. I don't have a lot of surface scratches or anything like that. A lot of times if I want a true satin finish, I'll take my piece up to a high polish and then bring it back with the satin finisher. So here I have the extra fine, this is the green, this is the extra fine, and it's going to give me a much better surface on this, nice and smooth. Again, I am removing any of those surface oxides, so I've not pickled this yet, but I am able to get a really good finish here. And you can see we've got a beautiful satin finish. So here I have a bracelet blank that I have just punched out. There are some burrs on this. It's a little bit rough. You can see there's some different scratches that are on here, as well as a little bit of the pattern showing from when I rolled it through in the rolling mill with a pattern plate. Here I'm going to use the A5517. This is an extra coarse satin finisher. And this is going to help me smooth out any of these sharp edges that might be left over from either piercing it out with a pancake die or even, you know, some filing work. And I might go over the entire surface. And you can see I removed a lot of the surface imperfections, and I will be ready to go through the different courses. Now, just like sandpaper grits, where I've gone in one direction, now what I'm going to do is change directions as I step down to the next finer. So this is a medium grit. This is the A5523, and this time I'm going to change directions of how I'm doing my finishing. And I want to remove all of the lines that were here from the previous step. So like I said, just like we do with sandpaper, and I'm going to do this until all of these lines that run perpendicular are gone. Now, as a final step, I'm going to go to my extra fine, and once again I'm going to change directions. And you can see hopefully on this video that now I have a much finer surface. It's a lot more smooth and a lot more even as far as that finish goes. When I do the final finish, I like to run in a little bit of a circle, and that's going to, again, just kind of help ensure that we have a nice, even finish. So you'll see that you can kind of see that swirl pattern, and you'll see that it doesn't really remove like any of the waving that I had from rolling this through the pattern plate. But now I'm ready to finish the front of my piece and ready to go. And I've got that beautiful satin finish that will be comfortable to wear up against my skin. So as you can see, as you use these, they do wear down. And how quickly they wear down depends a lot on how aggressive you are with these. If you're running really high speed and you're pushing hard, they're not going to last as long as if you run a little bit lower speed, not quite as much pressure. The key here is just give it the time to do the job that it's meant to do, and they'll last you a long time. Now, each of these do come individually in a pack of 12. So I would suggest you buy a pack of each, and you'll have plenty to really try them out, see which ones you like the best, and then you can reorder from there. So like I said, these give me a great satin finish on my metal, but I also really like to use it on my acrylic to give kind of a nice frosted look also. It can be nice and even, but that all depends on how you use them. As always, if you like this video series, make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and ring that bell so that you will always receive the notifications for when we put out a new video. In the next video in this series, we're going to jump over to a flex shaft accessory, and that is going to be the belt sander. So we'll take a look at that a little bit more in depth next time. As always, if you have questions, drop them down in the comments, and I will see you guys next time.